Right now, we're going to click over to the song stylings and the fantastic work, much of which is deeply embedded in streaming, of Dr. Lodge McCammon.
Little floating globs settle down at the bottom, are they easy to remove? Oh yeah, we got them! Human risk can really cause some disease. Cholera, it's such a follower. Holding southern Nicaragua. There's something in the water. Eutrophication from the fertilizer blocks out the light like a thick sunrise. There were points, those pipes, then we started in water. Causing this pollution. Eutrophication, la 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 la, drops out the light, la 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 la. Points, those pipes, la 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 la, causing this pollution. The government makes laws to protect the shadows.
Somebody has said once at the, I think it was John Medina, that every school uniform should be gym clothes because kids should be moving around because they want to learn.
Absolutely. And the trick is to connect the content with those motions. That's the big win. That's the huge win if we can do that. The interesting thing as well, I've done this music stuff and movement stuff for a long time and a lot of years. And one of the pieces of feedback I get is, hey, yeah, that's good for some kids, because we want to give them a choice, right? We don't want to have, some kids are kinesthetic learners, some kids are different types of learners. And you can think in your own classroom, you could probably think, well, there are some kids who would love this, and there are some kids who probably not for them, and giving them a choice is always the best thing. The interesting thing about brain research is that this is a human thing, kids who aren't necessarily comfortable or confident with getting up and moving, it's still a huge benefit for them. And I would suggest that it's worth putting in some effort to challenge students to get up and moving all the time. A lot of people look at what I do as well and say, well, I'm not a musician. Like, I can't do music with my class, and maybe that's not the environment I want to create in my classroom. I don't write songs. I don't really want it to be about that, because there are so many incredible things, benefits of movement. We need to figure out ways outside of music, clearly, to do this. I would like to, as your teacher, I want you to come up with a movement to show your understanding and demonstrate what you know about eutrophication. So what would you do if I... Okay? Now, there was no music involved. Thank you very much. That was, yeah, that's...
Nicely done. High fives again, high fives again. All right, thank you.
So I can challenge my students to come up with motions just having them do that. I can even put a video camera up and collect, just like we create music videos. I can challenge them to create a series of motions, capture those motions, have them watch them back, all the engagement of creating, even something that simple. I can just give them a few topics and say, hey, create some motion with your body. Lance Ruggi and I were in the lobby of a hotel, and I said to him, hey, I want to write more music for Discovery and make sure it's something that people find useful and is exciting, is connected to what you guys are moving forward with. What would that be? What kind of songs would I need to write? Is it more math stuff? Because I have a lot of math. And if you go in Discovery Streaming and type in my name, as some people have said over the course of the day, you can find a number of songs. But I said, what should I really be focusing on that would be most helpful? And he said, well, gosh, it would be really, really awesome if you wrote a song about every state in the United States. And my first impression was, that's 50. So that's a lot of songs. Yeah, it's quite a few. No, so I've finished 23 so far, and it's taken me a little over a year. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And each song takes about 40 hours to, start doing the research all the way through recording it. And I created a number of different video products along with recording it. And my parents are both musicians. So they come into Raleigh, which is where I live, and they'll stay with me for like 5 or 6 weeks at a time. It is awesome. But it's really cool because they're incredible people, and we just have a blast. And we make one of these videos for every one of the state songs that we create. So it shows the process. And I've got this recording studio in my house, and I play a number of the different instruments, and then my parents will put on, different background vocals, and my mom plays violin, my dad plays some keyboards, and we just have an absolute blast putting this together. And for each one of the state songs, I'm also going to create those movement videos. Kinesthetic videos, what I call kinesthetic lectures, is basically what the students watched to prepare for this. It's just a series of movements that directly, intentionally connect the content to the movements. Because that is the key. It has to be intentional to win people over, to win teachers over and say, this is a really great use of time because we're turning on the students' brains and we're connecting it to the core content. The paperslide concept really caught on well because it's so low barrier. I mean, it literally is like, there are thousands of paperslide videos on YouTube because it's students with their cell phones or their cameras pointing it down at a table and just narrating. It's a great way to do formative assessment. It's a great way to challenge students to teach information, which is super critical. Like if we're getting students up and moving every day and we're challenging them to teach every day, it's a huge win. It's amazing. I really love this concept of paperslide videos, and I use it as much as I can. But I reached out to a good friend of mine. Her name is Jan Macer. She's in Raleigh, North Carolina. And she's an artist, and she's illustrated children's books. And I said, yeah, I want you to take the paperslide concept to the next level. And it's the state project, this 50 States album, is a great backdrop for doing that. So I showed her some paperslide videos and said, what would you do with this? How could you make this better? And what she did, we filmed this like 3 days ago. What she did is absolutely incredible. Cardinal heads up to Mount Mitchell, the highest peak. Essequam Deary. Old tobacco and cotton define the economy. Later tourism shows beaches and some mountains to ski. The old North State in southern Maine. We were the older Carolina, and split back in the day after Sir Walter Raleigh's lost colony fades. North Carolina was made the 12th Tar Heel state. Then we grabbed the Wright brothers and the first to fly away. Hey, first to fly away. Hey, first to fly away. Hey, first to fly away. Hey. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Lodge. That was great. That was really great.
Thank you.